Congressman, continue to put pressure on the state of Florida because we do need a prescription drug monitoring system. There's just no doubt about that. That's the direction that we need to go into. And like Tom Knight in the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, in June of 2010, we did our first Operation Farmville, and it was P-H-A-R-M-V-I-L-L-E, where we arrested 47 people on 79 charges. We followed that up in October of 2010, where we arrested 67 people for 195 charges. And very shortly, we'll be finishing up our next one, Farmville 3. And the charges range from obtaining a controlled substance by fraud to sale of controlled substance, trafficking in a controlled substance, armed trafficking in hydrocodone. And I brought along one of the probable cause affidavits so that I could read this to you, how we work with the pharmacies. We develop information on a suspect who we think is doctor shopping. So we put out a pharmacy alert to our local pharmacies with this individual's name. And then we get responses back from them, and I'm just going to paraphrase some of this. A pharmacy alert was put out. A patient profile from a local pharmacy which showed the suspect filling oxycodone prescriptions written by doctor number 1 and doctor number 2 within a 12-day period. It was later found in the investigation that the suspect received oxycodone from doctor number 1 on February 21st for treatment of pain, and again received oxycodone on March 9th from doctor number 2. Both prescribing physicians were unaware of each other and were both prescribing the suspect oxycodone for like therapeutic needs. Now, based on that and the information that we received from the pharmacy, we were able to put together a probable cause affidavit and get an arrest warrant for this individual for doctor shopping. That's not a problem, but the problem for us is that takes a lot of time. And if we had a monitoring program in place, we would be spending very little time on these investigations. Now, I got to tell you one more thing. Our crime right now is being driven by burglaries, vehicle burglaries and residential burglaries. And you know what they're stealing when they're getting into your homes? They're going to your medicine cabinet. And when they don't find anything there, then they go to your jewelry box. Our people have been instructed, including our crime scene folks, you get to fingerprint when you go into a residential burglary, the medicine cabinet, the refrigerator, and the toilet. Because they go to your medicine cabinet for your drugs, as they said that you've been storing for months after your operation and sometimes years after your operation. They go to your refrigerator because they check to see if there's any food to eat, and they pee in your toilet. Now, it's a very sad commentary, but that's what we do, and we're making cases on that. Now, we started, along with the DEA, participating in their programs. We actually have a drug drop box at our front desk at our sheriff's office. In the first 2 weeks, we received 90 pounds of drugs. And all you have to do is come in, you take it out of the bottle and put it in a plastic bag and drop it in. We don't ask you your name or anything. And I, by the way, was the first one that participated in that because I had wrist surgery, had shoulder surgery, and I had drugs in my medicine cabinet at home. So I was the first one to drop them in there. This is a huge problem. Every day I get significant occurrences. Those are things that happen within Manatee County and in our community. And I have to tell you that 2 or 3 a week talk about the person that was found in the motel room. No signs of violence, but there were pills. Okay, and we don't know what the outcome is until it goes to the medical examiner's office. There are people in this audience that I know quite well that can tell you what happened to their child because of prescription drugs. We need to push the governor and our legislators to get this drug monitoring system in place right now. And one more comment. We wrote a piece of legislation, and unfortunately we didn't get it done in time to get it through to this session. But we would like, if you go in to get a prescription filled for a Schedule II, which is oxycodone and all those other ones, that you would have to leave your thumbprint. And the reason for that is, when we try to make these cases where I read you this probable cause affidavit, sometimes it's months after the fraud occurs. So you can imagine a law enforcement officer going into the pharmacy and holding up the person's picture and saying, was this guy here 2 months ago and did he fill this prescription? We want the thumbprint so that we can actually say, yes, this was the person in addition to the photograph. So we're fighting this on the front lines, and I just wanted you to know, as Sheriff Knight did, that every day we're going through this. I have one person actually assigned to the DEA task force out of Tampa that does nothing but these pharmaceuticals. I have another person assigned to the DEA task force who does a number of other investigations, but they're all surrounded around what? Narcotics.
Yeah.